That's right, Lori. We are about a half a mile from the scene where this farmhouse, where this all unfolded this afternoon. It is a long, hard drive. As you can see, it is blocked off with numerous police cars. Dave Miller was headed home. He lives right around the bend here, and he kind of saw all of this happening. Dave, tell me what you saw.
Well, I saw the police rolling in, and I pulled off the side of the road to get out of the way, and they put a drone up, and I looked over to the right, of course, and I saw the police in the barn. Looked like they were looking for someone, and then I heard the gunshots ring, and I saw people on the ground, and I got clear. And more police were still rolling in. They were coming in from all directions. It wasn't long till I heard a helicopter and coming in also. So it was quite an event.
When you saw people on the ground, those were police officers?
I couldn't see it quite clear enough whether it was a suspect, but it looked to me like it was a police officer. Yes, in the middle of the road, laying down. Yep.
Now, I know you know the family pretty well who
Yes.
live in this farmhouse.
Yes.
What did you know about what might have been going on and why a search warrant was being served there?
Nothing real clear right now. Good family. Known them for a long time. The children and the mother. The father had passed away. So it's just the mother and children living in the farm. Yes.
What was this like for you to experience this?
Well, in this neighborhood, nowadays, nothing surprises you, but
that's for sure. From what I've heard about this entire situation, which is absolutely tragic because, like I said, from what I've heard, unfortunately, 3 officers have lost their life in this situation. And obviously, as you guys saw on the screen, 5 officers were actually hit, which is just, man, just absolutely wild. We gotta stop demonizing officers, man. We gotta stop demonizing officers. These folks put their lives on the line every single day when they put on that uniform. And they have families. They're humans. Are they perfect? No. But is anybody perfect? No. Because I always see, oh, well, this cop did that, well, this cop did that. Of course, there's going to be bad apples in any occupation. You pick it, right? You pick the occupation, there's going to be a bad apple in it. Okay? So just because one is bad, we just throw away the whole thing? Because, of course, we've seen that from the left. Defund the police! Defund the police! Defund the police! It's just like, come on, bro. You want to defund the police, so who are you going to call when somebody kicks in your front door? Because these are the same folks that don't believe in the Second Amendment, right? Want to try to make every single law possible to make it difficult for law-abiding citizens to purchase firearms. So if you don't have a gun and you don't have any cops to call, who's going to save you? I'm genuinely asking. When somebody kicks in your door and you don't have no firearm to stop them, as I like to call the great equalizer, who's going to save your life? Nobody. So it's just like, man, these folks. See, I want to read this a little bit. On Wednesday afternoon, 3 police officers were killed and 2 others were injured in a shooting in North Cotterus? Anyway, York County. The officers were killed Wednesday while following up on a domestic-related investigation that began on Tuesday. 2 more officers were wounded in the shooting, and police killed the gunman. What we know about the shooter: the man who fatally shot 3 Pennsylvania officers and injured 2 before he was killed by police has been identified as 24-year-old Matthew James Ruth, according to law enforcement official. The official spoke on condition of an anonymity to the Associated Press because they weren't authorized to discuss an ongoing investigation. On Tuesday, September 16th, a woman observed Ruth stalking the house in a cornfield close by and notified authorities, according to a criminal complaint obtained by Fox 43. The woman reported the incident to the Northern York County Regional Police Department to obtain an arrest warrant and a restraining order. Officials attempted to serve the shooter with the warrant on Tuesday night, but were unable to find him. Officers with the Yorktown blah 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 returned to the house to do a follow-up visit on Wednesday, which was when the shooter opened fire from a nearby cornfield. 3 officers from the Yorktown were pine box. Goodness gracious. The shooter then allegedly began moving toward the house, where he exchanged gunfire with 3 York County sheriffs. 2 of the York County sheriffs were struck and injured, but 1 returned fire and killed the shooter. According to officials, police documents said the shooter allegedly wore camouflage, and it is not clear to investigators whether the shooter waited in the cornfield for the ex-girlfriend or the arresting officers. That is absolutely wild, man. Absolutely wild. This guy wore camouflage in, sounds to me like he just laid down in a cornfield, in the middle of a cornfield, and just waited. Just waited. I don't think he would have known that the officers were coming unless they were coming lights and sirens, right? Then of course, you know, he would have heard them coming from a distance, but I would assume he was waiting for the chick. That's just my assumption. Obviously, I don't know. That's just kind of what I'm gathering from this entire situation. He was laying there in wait for the woman, and that's who he was going to take his anger out on. But unfortunately, the officers showed up, which I'm sure angered him even more. And what happened. That's kind of what I'm gathering. Y'all let me know what you think happened here. But let's jump back to this video and finish this up.
It's pretty close to home. Pretty close to home.
How many shots would you say you heard being fired?
30 shots. It was just continuous. Yeah. Lots of shots. More than what I could count, but it was at least 30 shots. And it went on for quite a while. It wasn't a quick ordeal. It was lasted a long time. So
I can't imagine what that was like for you.
Pretty traumatic, you know.
Well, thank you.
Feel sorry for the family.
And I imagine, do you know some of police officers who are with Northern York Regional and sheriff's
It was a mix
deputies?
It was a mix of sheriffs and marshals and Northern Regional. I saw all different colors of cars, yes. All different. It was a mix.
And you obviously knew something was up when you saw the drone in the air and you saw all these
Yes.
police converging on this farmhouse.
Yes. I spoke with the officer that put the drone up as I was passing through, and he said I was, keep moving. I would be safe if I kept moving, and he was right. So,
Well, I'm glad you're safe. Thank you so much. We appreciate your time.
Crazy. We got to start giving officers a lot more credit, you know. And for a while, I wanted to be an officer. But to be quite honest, I knew that I couldn't refrain from, you know, I felt like I would be a little too trigger happy, right? Because at the end of the day, it's going to be you rather than me every single time, right? It's going to be you rather. I have seen incidences, and we've all seen them, right? Where an officer is engaging with an individual, and that individual isn't following directions. That individual is reaching places that they shouldn't be reaching, and the officer is just standing there just waiting. You know, like me, like I don't know if I could wait, bro, because I've seen it happen in the opposite direction, where an officer is being nice to a gentleman, giving him grace, right? And the officer lost his life because of it. There's one incident that I'm thinking of right now where the guy got pulled over on the side of the road. He was driving a pickup truck, and the officer was on the passenger side, and you know they both were walking around to the back of the truck. The guy got out of the driver's seat, lifted up an AR right over the bed of the truck, and bow, bow, right into the officer, went and stood over the officer and, did what he did. And like, that's why I say I couldn't do that. I couldn't do it. Salute to any and all law enforcement out there, man. Y'all deserve a lot more credit, because that is a nerve-wracking occupation and a very, very dangerous job, because you don't know who you're encountering, right? You don't know who you walking up on, what this person's intentions are, what this person's mood is, like nothing. You walking in completely blind, and that's what officers have to do on a daily basis. It's pretty wild, man. It's pretty wild. We got to give officers a lot more credit, a lot more grace, a lot more credit, and condolences, to the families that lost somebody, man. Those were somebody's dad, possibly, somebody's brother, somebody's son, just gone, man, just gone. Trying to do the right thing for the community, lost their life senselessly. It's tragic, man. It really is. It really is. Oh, man. Anyway, y'all get in the comments. Let me know your thoughts and your opinions about all of this. Stay safe out there. Peace.